We see that the astronomers are predicting sometime in this early part of the first part of the month, beginning on the 2nd or the 5th or somewhere along this month, the Indian astronomers predict the world to blow to pieces. And the American newspapers make fun of it. I do not believe the world's going to blow to pieces. But I do say it's wrong to make fun of it, because something's fixing to happen one of these days.
Amen.
Something similar to that. When the 5 planets, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus, and so forth, comes into they never have did it. Oh, they claim maybe 25,000 years ago, but who is back there to know it? He'll blow it to pieces some of these days. And He'll burst forth the earth, and she'll renew herself with volcanic eruption, and there'll come a millennium then where the righteous will walk out upon the ashes of the wicked, according to Malachi before. Now remember, before that happens, though, there's something takes place. We get a shaking from a messenger. God, by His law, made molecules. That's the law of God. Then God made atoms. Then from that, God made a sun. From that, out of the sun made stars. Out of the star, that's little pieces of sun flying off. What did He have way back there is His attributes displaying themselves. God is from above. He's right in the zodiac in the sky. Zodiac starts with the Virgin, the first coming of Christ, ends up with Leo of the Lion, the second coming. And He's writing His first Bible. There's 3 of them. One of them was written in the skies, one in the pyramids, one on this. Everything in God is in a Trinity, like a man's in a Trinity. All right. Then after He got all that written, the stars and the planets off that sun, then I can see a big ball of ice laying under somewhere of this earth, and He brewed over the earth, moved it over around the sun, dried it off, and He began His creation on the earth. I got a revelation the other day standing up there on Mount Palomar at the observatory and seeing the time, the space over to Mars and to the last continents and so forth, and light traveling at so many thousands miles per second. If an angel started from the farthest star and coming here, it would take him billions times billions of years to get here. If he started from Mars and come here, flying at the speed of light space, or light speed, it would take him billions of years to get here. They built the Sphinx and the pyramids in them days. We can't do that today. They had materials and they had powers that was beyond anything that we've got, unless it is the atomic. They had it harnessed, and they did things that we don't know nothing about. They could make a mummy in them days. We couldn't do it today if we had to. No such thing making a mummy today, but they did. See, they could embalm in such a way to make them look natural plumb on till this day, thousands of years later. We don't have that. They had dye that would last, and just many things there that we don't have. Their science was advanced to us. Now, science might have said, now I want to ask you something. Where in the world is that water coming from? I can see it all the way up to the stars. I can see all the way to the moon. I can see all the way to the sun. We got instruments here that can shoot a message over to the moon. We can go over to the stars. We can go over to Mars. Things like that. Tell me where the water is at, please, Mr. Noah. God made man out of dust of the earth. And that man, He might have given him hands like a monkey. He might have given him feet like a bear. I was talking to a person not long ago who was trying to discuss with me and said, aren't you ashamed to say that God created heavens and earth in 3 days, or 6 days? That's what the Bible said. So, well, we got evidence and can prove that the world is millions of years old. I said, I didn't have anything to do with it. In Genesis 1:1, it said, in the beginning, God created heavens and earth, period. Yeah. Now the world was out formed and void, and I said, I believe every seed was laying right there from some other civilization or something. And as soon as the water lifted off and the light struck it, up come the trees and everything. Yeah. Dr. Schofield, here in my Schofield Bible, says the first civilization. Notice, then he begot sons, and they made organs and music. The next one begot sons, and he began to do other things, wonders, build cities, and make instruments of brass and all kinds of things. See? That's what he did, become the first civilization, which was Canaanite.
Notice, then, when God, after making all the stars and the heavenly planets, then I can see this Logos go out over the world, bring it over here around the sun and begin to turn it around. Great ice gorges come down from the north and cut out Southern California and Texas and made the plains. And the world, as it was coming to existence now, is all melted in water, and we're in Genesis 1 now. God then began to separate the water from the earth, and in there He began to plant the seed of everything that's on the earth today. It come up out of Genesis. For instance, the Catholic Church, it appears in Genesis.